What's going on? What's happening? It's about to go down here in a minute. We got Dontrell in the building. We got Mike in the building, man. We finna have a super duper important discussion, man.
Hey, man, you hear me?
Quarter piece, what it do?
You got me muted.
That's just for the thing. You good?
Okay. I didn't know. I thought you didn't hear me.
You all good, man. We live and tell these good folks. Rick, what it do? We got Rick in the building. It's going down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mike. It's happening, man. It's happening, man. We finna go on and slide over here, man. Let's do it. Please, I hope you came ready, man, because I'm ready. Serious Rick, what it do?
You gonna set it off? Or you know, when we get going, you gonna set it off? Like, you want me to set it off? How we gonna do it?
Nigga, we live. We on right now.
I mean, what's happening?
What's up? It is set off, man.
Let's
What's
set it
happening,
off.
man? We finna chop up this thing, man. We gonna get some time for people to come on, man. Hey, my guy Dirtbag, what it do, man? I see you, man. We chilling in here. What's happening? Dirtbag MC. You understand me? He said, hold up. Dirtbag MC. He in the building, man. UTG, we all in this thing, man. You know what's happening.
Under the ground.
Serious Dwick, what it do, man? I'm trying not to get too hyped because it's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you be, I can't be an emotional debater. You know? I'm trying to really win. I am CJ. What's going on with you? How you doing? Wait a minute. What is she doing here? Hold up. What is she doing here? What's going on, Kay?
Right?
What's happening with you? That's awesome. What a pleasant surprise.
Right?
What's up, yeah, Melissa? We can hear you, fam. For sure. Dontrell, what it do? Mike Evans, what it do? Hey, man, listen here, man. I hope that Low Spot Sound, my boy Freezy, what it Deezy. Bro, I hope you ready for this debate, man, because I'm ready. I'm trying to win too. This is not a
There's no frick.
right. We was friends before we turned on the debate. We will be after. But right now, I'm trying to win, man.
I'm at.
I'm gonna set the stage, man. After this song go off, man, we finna get right into it. Just give some time for the people to tap on in, man. How is the beat in the background, you guys? Is it too loud? Is it too low? Is it straight? Let me know something in the chat. I had a pop out YouTube chat. I don't know where it went, Lord Jesus. You know, we are struggle streamers, if you didn't know.
Man.
Boomers unite. Oh yeah, but there go my pop out chat. Okay. It's good. Said the levels are good. Cool. Oh man, and he dropped out. Why he say? See, that's what I'm talking about, man. We old people. Once we get something right, we don't need to touch nothing. Because niggas get to touching stuff, and it be all bad. Oh, who is that? Papa Wood, what it do? What's going on with you, man? What's going on, man? We struggle streaming for real, ain't we, Lee J?
Man, we here. We good. We gonna make it.
What happened? Why did it kick you out?
It didn't kick me out. I've been sitting there the whole time. It went.
Oh, it just did. It just blink. Okay, for sure. Already, man. That's cool.
Let me go ahead and
if this is any indication for how stuff is gonna go, I'm excited.
Man.
I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? For all the wrong reasons, you know. If this is in it. Yeah.
But yeah, while we in here, while we waiting, Rick just asked what we cracking.
What we cracking is what type of terminology is that, man?
Adrian Cole, we cracking.
Adrian Cole, what the hell it do, man? What's going on?
Right? What kind of brew we cracking is what he was asking.
A brew. Hold on. Let me turn this shit down because this shit sound important.
Yeah, man. So what I'm gonna do? This is it's Orpheus Brewing out of Atlanta. This is Room 1,000 Years Wide. It's a barley wine. You see the artwork. Adrian, if you drank beer, this is a line you would fool with for the artwork alone.
Yeah, if I was a drinker, I just might.
Yeah, man.
AD commit, what it do?
Oh yeah, and I got this 17% drip glass. Deadpool holding Pennywise head. You hear me?
Nigga.
Hey man, this a whole culture, man. It's a whole culture out here, man.
It is a culture. What is that, man? So if I go to the store and get a Bud Light, how that's different from what you dripping on right now? What you cracking right now?
I'm
gonna let you know that was some fat ass shit you just did. Slurping the last drip off the tip.
Nigga, if you knew what these cost, get it all. Get everything.
Oh man.
But no, like Bud Light is. I mean, it's just a regular brewed beer. There's a bunch of different kinds of barley wine. This is what this is. There's stouts and porters and all that. We're gonna get into that. You know, when the brews come through, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna really get into it. But yeah, man. I mean, barley wine is gonna be. It's just basically like I would say it's the difference between going to McDonald's and then going to Pernod back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's very culinary. Very. I mean, it's like there's so many levels.
Tell me what that tastes like then.
This one. Room 1,000 years wide. It's kind of standard when it comes to a barley wine. It's aged in a bourbon barrel. So, like, basically, when a bourbon barrel is empty, a lot of breweries will get the bourbon barrels and then they'll age them, so it'll get a little taste of bourbon on it. You can taste the barrel, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, this one is just, it's got the texture of wine. You see, this one doesn't have head or any of that, no foam, none of that. It's got the texture of wine. And I'm still kind of a novice, still getting, I got the book coming. I should have a book in here tomorrow. So, I mean, I'm going to really dig into trying to learn about it. I might actually start studying for my Cicerone. You know what I'm saying? Which is a beer certification.
Well, do that, because I just asked you what it tastes like. You told me bourbon in a barrel. And nigga, I'm not sold unless you like bourbon and wood. You know? but I'm gonna take your word for it, man. You know I ain't no drinker, man. But what we getting into today, man, is something that we gonna get the hell on into. Not now, but right motherfucking now, man. So ATLiens versus Aquemini.
Yes, sir.
Me personally, I am team ATLiens all day. So proud of that.
Me personally, I am not.
Oh man, that's all you got to say? Is you am not?
No, man. I'm absolutely Aquemini centered. I think that is their apex. That is the magnum opus.
Stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. Please look. Y'all know I got notes. I don't play. I don't really go off the head unless I'm rapping and freestyling, man.
I mean. The notebook is here. Don't trip. And I mean, I got the real notes. So if I need a reference point, you know what I'm saying? I'll take it back to 98. And I'll flip the book open. I got lyrics. I got credits.
Oh, okay. I see how you playing. You don't want to play fair.
No.
You don't want to play. Okay.
I mean, and I can fight you on your own turf too. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna pull this. That's good.
I got the comic book and everything. Let's get it.
That's good. The comic book. I'm gonna ask you this: did a comic book come with Aquemini?
No.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
No. They was past that.
You know, so check it out.
They put the work into the music.
Let me start by saying,
please.
I keep both of these albums on my phone. These is albums that's in my top 50 of all time. If Tidal tripping on my way to the dollar store to buy some dice, I don't want to be without this album. If the cell towers are tripping while I'm doing my bike ride, I don't want to be without this album. You hear me? I got to have this album on my phone when I'm on a plane and refusing to pay for that expensive ass Delta Wi-Fi. I don't want to be without this album. Can't rely on streaming. Got to have it on my phone. These albums are linchpins in the Southern movement that's still going on today. Let me tell y'all something about Outkast if y'all know nothing about Outkast. Outkast represent the South. And these albums are on so many different things that when the artists go left, nobody say they're going left no more. They say, oh, they on that Outkast type of energy. These are the albums that did that. That's why when Memphis music was mixed with booty shake music, nobody batted an eye. That's why rapping over live instruments didn't shun artists in the South and give them the underground label. That's what pushed the boundaries of streetwear. and got the whole country dressing like Atlanta D-boys. These albums are the foundation of that. That being said, ATLiens is better than Aquemini. What's your opening argument, sir?
All right, so the opening argument for me is first to pay homage to Outkast ATLiens. We know ATLiens was a full-on departure from Southern Playalistic. You know where their bed was. 18-year-olds came out, made a record. ATLiens is a departure. Like nobody knew what to do when they heard Elevators. I mean,
Right.
we can agree on that.
Right.
I remember where I was. I was in New York City on the street listening to I think it was a Clue tape. That's where I was at when I first
A
heard it.
Clue tape.
Yeah, man. But I think it was Clue or Sandman, either way. But I mean, it's a departure, and I applaud it for what it is. But where that is the leap, the growth leap, Aquemini is the statement. It is the it is the it is the magnum opus. It is their statement of not only who we are, but we are absolutely separated. And they took everything from ATLiens and tripled it. ATLiens is,
That was the statement.
hey,
Hold on,
bro,
hold
I
on,
don't,
hold on, hold
hey,
on.
man, I ain't got to do it like, it's a linchpin. I ain't got to tell them about linchpins, man. They should already know.
Well, let me set the stage for you then.
Come on, set it for me.
Dirt One, what it do, man? Dirt One in the motherfucking L's. You know what I'm saying? Acre EM said Aquemini. We got to vote for Aquemini. Yeah, I think Aquemini is the one that everybody say is that one. Because when I told people we was doing this stream, they was like, Aquemini, what are y'all talking about? And I'm like, okay, so let me hang up this motherfucking phone. Let me set the stage. Because I ain't calling you niggas again. Who votes for Aquemini? Stop.
Lord Six versus everybody.
Apparently, ATLiens. I mean, I didn't think that was a hard sell. That's an awesome album, but check it out. I'm gonna set the stage for you. We're gonna go back to August 3rd, 1995.
Bring it.
Outkast went to the Source Awards. Suge Knight was riding high off his new artist Tupac. He took the infamous shot at Diddy about being all in the videos. Diddy had directed an Outkast video prior to. He told Dre to take off his shirt so he could sell more albums to the ladies. And I guess he felt like he wasn't compensated properly because even then, he went on tour with Outkast and lifted one of they get the crowd hype phrases and gave it to Biggie Smalls. Y'all might recognize it. It says, throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. Don't that sound like Outkast? Diddy got that from them. So now let's go back to the Source Awards. Outkast was at the awards and won an award, but was largely ignored and even booed when they went on stage. And Andre let off an unassuming warning shot that rang around the industry. Y'all remember what he said? The South got something to say. And now fast forward, ATLiens came out August 27th, 1996, a few weeks before Tupac died. Up-tempo party music and aggressive music was popping. But what they do? They dropped Elevators, a slow, sparse, catchy tune about coming up in the rap game. And they charted. They peaked at number 12. But look who was beating them, though. Tupac with California Love. Alanis Morissette, what you ought to know. Tony Braxton, Eric Clapton, R. Kelly, Tracy Chapman. Diddy had 112 and Biggie, but they was below Outkast on the charts. So let's talk about Full Circle. But even still, that's good company. But Outkast kept their word. They had something to say. And the most importantly, they had something to say without trying to make hits. That's how powerful the message was, telling the ugly truth about their experience in the music industry, including their Source Awards visit. They were signed to the same label that was not paying TLC. And we know how the fuck that turned out. The significance of this album can't be compared to a lot of things. It's one thing to sell 2 million records. It's another thing to sell 2 million records being exactly who the fuck you are. And so you talked about the growth. Let's talk about the growth. Southern Playalistic Cadillac Funky Music had the live instruments, the 808s, and the flow. But it was a little bit scatterbrained. ATLiens was a focused direction, and it was so razor sharp that it cut barriers and genres, and it did it effortlessly. Do you want me to go into the content now, or do you?
No, keep pushing, keep going.
So you know how this started off.
Mm-hmm.
It started off with Joy and Myrna Crenshaw, aka Screechy Peach.
Wow.
Rest in peace to Screechy Peach. She out of here.
Right.
On that iconic intro. Speaking of Portuguese prayer, y'all know what it say. I can't pronounce it, but I'm gonna tell y'all what it said if y'all never bothered to go translate it. There is nothing new under the sun. All that is new comes from our Lord. Life is a progression. It is our Lord who gives us life. Amen. That's how they started off after getting booed off the stage. I didn't know what they said. It sounded pretty, but I didn't know what the hell they said.
For sure.
This is the part that hit me. They came in singing and said, you can be sure some go low to get high. You may hurt till you cry. You may die, but just keep on trying. Nigga, oh my God. I was 15, bro. That's all I needed to hear. I needed a good word. I didn't need no fake positivity. I didn't need no retweets. I didn't need no likes. I just needed something real. And they gave me something real. They let me know that I'm not scared for no reason. It's crazy out here because I was out here seeing it. We talking about the 90s now. That's the most people who died to violent crime in this country ever.
Ever.
That's the world we was living in, going outside and walking everywhere. Everybody. It wasn't just the gangsters outside. Everybody was outside. And they told me, hey, keep on trying. It's good. And I didn't go to track 2. I kept starting a bitch over. My brother Brian had the CD, and I went to his house in Westbridge, and I just couldn't believe it. He was like, "Yeah, let me let you." I was like, "Bro, listen, stop it. Let me hear this, bro. I don't know what this is. I never heard nothing like that. That ethereal guitar. What's my guy's name? Tommy Martin playing that guitar. He went on to accomplish a whole bunch of stuff. Listen, that's how they started the album off, bro.
Okay.
Talk to me, man. I need convincing.
All right. So for me, we had ATLiens. ATLiens did what it did, and which is phenomenal and did all that. Let's make sure we pay homage before we get into breaking it down. So, you had that run, but what do you do after that? You have make an album like ATLiens. What's next? Usually, that's where the fall comes. Most of even the greats, after that second record, especially when that second record is the takeoff record, they go the other direction. So the stage that I can set is the greatest day in hip hop, September 29th, 1998. Outkast came out with Aquemini on that day. You know what else came out on that day?
I didn't do Q&A, nigga. Don't make me participate in my own debate.
Well, since, if you didn't know, the greatest day in hip hop was straight up and down. It was Aquemini, Hard Knock Life, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, Most and Quality Are Black Star, and Foundation by Brand Nubian, the Return Brand Nubian album. They came out in the midst of all that, right? And that was a great day for everybody that was there. But when it came to Outkast, how do you follow that up? How do you follow up ATLiens? The first thing they did, of course, they dropped the biggest commercial single they had to that point, Rosa Parks, right? Mm-hmm. You hear, and the first thing that I felt when I got Rosa Parks was, okay, so they bring the beat in, because who was doing that? Jay had just done Hard Knock Life. You had Once Again. You didn't have that funk like that syrupy guitar. And
was that what that was? Because I don't know. Rosa Parks, I heard that. I was like, this is a little bit slavish.
No, man.
This is a hoot, Danny.
But then listen,
I don't know about
the hoot. But at the end of the day, when you look at it, what are they coming from? Hey, at the end of the day, y'all got to know, because the thing about ATLiens that I always thought was, this is our, hey man, we can do what y'all New York niggas do and make you like it. I've always felt that. The beats, listen to it. Listen to the drums and the beats. The beats breathe on most of that album. They're out there breathing. Now, we had the live instruments, we had them, but now we about to bring them all in, and we about to layer this shit up.
I was saying, who was doing live beats? Who was doing live bass and 808s on the East Coast?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the live. I'm not talking about the live aspect. I'm talking about, because think about how those beats breathe on there. You got a whole bunch of heavy 808, a bunch of heavy snare, and the bass lines. When
But
you
that's
and
what I'm saying. That's not we can do what the East Coast do. They was doing what they do.
no, I mean, but you think about Southern Playalistic, the music the music was more full. And this is not a knock on ATLiens. This is what I'm saying is like, oh no, but if you take away some of that fullness, we can rhyme with y'all. That's what they said. On ATLiens, it's like, we can rhyme with y'all, but we're gonna bring everything back in and we're gonna add some shit to it. And you talked about You May Die. The thing about Aquemini is a whole written thought, right? Like how it's basically formatted like a book. You have your epilogue. I mean, you have your the sequencing of the album. You got your prologue. I grouped it all. So you got Hold On, Be Strong, which it tells like, hey man, it gives you that lift, and then Return of the Gangster kicks in. First thing you hear, you know what I'm saying? Who starts an album off with? You talked about a first single, but nobody starts an album with that at that pace, right? So that is your prologue. That kind of sets the stage, right? Then your introduction paragraph is when you get on to Rosa, Skewett, and Aquemini,
Mm-hmm.
right? With Aquemini being the thesis statement. This is what the fuck we about, right? And then you go from there into your, because it's the way the album is constructed to me. You go into your rising action, synthesizer, and we're going to go back and talk about the records. But you go
Okay.
back to your rising action, you got synthesizer, to Slump, to West Savannah, to Art of Storytelling 1. Then you have your climax, which your climax is Storytelling 2, because that is the end of the world record. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we trying to make one more beat before we get to the end of the world, for the world blow up. Then you have your falling action, Mamacita, Spodioti, Y'all Scared. Your resolution is Liberation. We've gone through all of this shit, all of these stories and all of this, and we've gotten to liberation. And then you have your epilogue, and your epilogue is Chunkified. Now, the brilliant thing about how that's written is that Dre sets up the epilogue in Rosa Parks. I don't know if you. So in Rosa Parks, he says, when the record player get to skipping and slowing down, all y'all gonna say is them niggas earn their clamp. But until then, when you get to Chunkified, you remember how it ends? Boom, boom, boom. They told you what they was gonna do to end the record. I'm talking about how seamless that album is as far as, number one, the songs themselves, the song structure, the sequencing, and the story that's told piece by piece by piece. To me, ATLiens is a fantastic album. That's a stepping stone. This is where we showed our biggest jump. But now we're about to give you everything. That's where you encompass what we did on Southern Playalistic and ATLiens. We're going to give you all of it together, and with better rappers, better sing, better written hooks, all of that shit. It's just a
Now wait a
better
minute,
written
wait a minute,
album.
wait a minute. Some people might say that you're referring to a foundation as a stepping stone because ATLiens is the absolute foundation of Aquemini. There would be no Aquemini without ATLiens. So it's not that. It's, to me, I like ATLiens because ATLiens was its own thing. I think Aquemini built off ATLiens. And let's be clear. I love Outkast as much as the next man, but neither one of these albums are seamless now. Mamacita, come on now.
Wait. If I
Oh,
give my, if I,
you don't get a chance.
I
I'm
get my
gonna
chance.
come
Let's
back
get it.
to it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Uh, Liberation was too goddamn long. Let's be
No,
clear.
no,
Just come on,
no,
Outkast,
no,
you killing.
no, no,
Liberation was too long. You gotta know.
no.
You gotta know when to hold them.
You
You gotta
wildin'.
know when to fold
You
them.
wildin'.
They should have folded. It was entirely too long.
It wasn't.
Anyway, keep going. I want to hear. I want to hear what you're saying.
All right.
Asylum Depot, what it do?
I did see my man Ferocious say that their beats were ahead of New York beats. You misunderstand me when I discuss how it goes. See, thank you, Dory, my nigga. Silent, thank you. Liberation's not too long. So anyway, but where Ferocious
It's
was
too long to
talking
be
about,
better than ATLiens. But keep going.
but what I was saying, like when it comes to when I compared the ATLian sound to New York,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm by no means am I saying it was a step back, a step down. We trying to do what they do. It was more like, oh, you gotta understand, we got live instruments, we got all this stuff, musicianship and all that. But think about a primo beat. where, you know, it's the drums, and they give all that room because, you know, New York bar, especially back then, bar, 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 bar. So you don't want all the too much extra in there because it needs to let the rapper breathe. And ATLiens has that. Thing about Aquemini is that Aquemini has the rapper breathing and still not being overshadowed by the track in a way that I can't think of another album to that point that had that kind of production that didn't overshadow the rapper and it outdid it. If you to me, Earth Tone and OMP went somewhere else beat wise. The production itself, in my opinion, is better on Aquemini. Like it's, and then on top of that, you a sound technical type of dude. I played them in the car next to each other. Like I ran them back to back, and I was like, number one, I don't know who mixed what, how, who did, or who just got better at mixing and mastering and all that. Aquemini sounds better. Number one, I mean, it just flat out sounds better. It's a better, like when you put, and it works in two ways. Synthesizers, one I use. You get into the car, and it's filling up the car, especially if you got some real speakers. And that was the 90s. That was the time of speakers. You get into it, fills everything up. But when you go and you make it a headphone, you listen to the synthesizer, and George is talking to you on your left ear.
Yeah,
while
yeah.
they're rhyming at the same time. And they had so many elements. Like I had never heard nothing like that.
I got Defiant Print said that they agree with ATLiens, but they don't agree with something I said. What up, Defiant Print? The length of liberation was needed. It rides. Is that what he said? But check this out. I'm gonna give you a little bit of hardware history. That was right about the time that we went from tape to a digital ADAT to Pro Tools.
Right.
So we can't give that credit to Aquemini because they were just participating in something that happened. You see what I'm saying? You can't say that one Black Sabbath album is better than the other one because one is here and one is there. That's just technology. It's some old Isley Brothers records that's in mono, but we can't say automatically that those songs are better than the stuff he did with R. Kelly because it's on Pro Tools and a thing. You know, it's cool.
That's an element, but that's an element of it.
But it's just
an element of it.
Okay.
At the end of the day, because if you look at it, just because I have the ability to text message somebody, you know what I'm saying? My ability to do that, my accomplishment or whatever cannot be taken away from that. And then, like I said, on top of that, they still had to fit all of those instruments in, make them all clear, make them all be seen, make them all be heard, and still not overshadow the MC and all the background vocals and all. Like it was a big affair when it came to Aquemini. Aquemini was like, to incorporate all those people is still another thing. You know what it is. You made plenty of albums. You know, incorporating people into it and not taking their personality away while still sitting them in there because they had never had anybody who wasn't Dungeon Family on a record prior to Aquemini. You know what I'm saying? That was it. So when Aquemini came out, they could actually bring people in and you still had to come to them. You know what I mean? They never said, hey man, change the way you rhyme to sound like me. It's kind of like when Eminem gives somebody a beat, it's gonna pull you to the Eminem side, which I don't know why anybody would want a bunch of those, but I'm just saying. You know, certain producers or whatever, they bring you in and they want you either to take on theirs or they change their sound to fit you. And Aquemini didn't need that. They got Raekwon, who they didn't change nothing. We're gonna do an Outkast record. You know what I'm saying? The one thing that they did make a vehicle was Mamacita for the Queen's chick, Masada. That was only problem I got with Mamacita. And
it was a bad song.
It's not.
It was a bad song.
Now that one was too long.
You don't play Mamacita and don't sit here and act like you play Mamacita in the ride on the regular.
I actually do.
I'm finna go to work. Mamacita.
Yes. Yes.
No, bro. That's really not even an Outkast record. I don't know how it made the record. When I was young, I was like, clearly this was slipped into the batch of things you mastered. They slipped in there.
No, Mamacita actually, like, it's one of those things, and it's one of those things that if you don't turn it on now, you'll miss it. But I mean, now, especially, and that's another thing that makes it a better album, is if you listen to it, everything in context makes all the sense. You know what I'm saying? So, and Jamie, I'm aware that Love Movement is not better than Low End Theory. That's not what I said. I said that's an aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? That's an
Hold on,
aspect of
let
what
me
makes
tell
it better.
let me tell the people something. Listen here, you guys. You don't just have to disagree with us in the chat. Say what's happening. I'm gonna drop that link in the chat, and you guys could come up and y'all could join the live stream right on video and debate us in real time. You know what I'm saying? We want that. If y'all ask for that in the chat, I'm gonna drop that link. I'm gonna pin it. Y'all can pop in here. Terrible song is what was said about it. Which doctor threw me off on that one? Yeah, Mamacita, man. That's just an inexcusable song. We all make bad songs,
For sure.
And that's one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I mean, and I you know what? I would have been with you until I started listening again, and I was like, you know what? This did do something for me.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? It
man.
did. It's one of those records that I'm not gonna listen to by itself, but I don't skip it when I'm listening to the album. If that makes sense.
You'll be a better person if you do.
no, I live. No,
so let's check it out. So you made your case sound like a prologue, but every sound on here, every song they was running it down to you, bro.
Keep on, come on.
If you didn't know, this was a huge fuck you to the whole industry.
Yeah,
that's what this was. That's what ATLiens was. This was a whole fuck you to the whole industry, man. We just gonna run down a few of them. Hold up, my shit jumping around. Thick thumb ass nigga. Hell no. So cold ass beats with live instruments, man. The second song, they touched on being challenged to freestyle. Because you know that's how it was back in the day. People said if you didn't freestyle, we got a supporter in the building. We love it. If you didn't freestyle, you wasn't really no rapper.
For sure.
Remember that? You remember that? They used to be
100%
set by the East Coast, by the way.
For sure.
But they addressed that. They said, hey, look, check it out. No disrespect to you and yours, but we not y'all. What is we? We just two dope boys in a Cadillac.
That was an homage record, if you didn't know.
For sure.
That's an homage record.
Okay, cool.
That's an homage record to phony rappers. Like Q-Tip being Dre's dude, they were like, oh, and I feel like there was a phone conversation between them, if I remember right, where they was like, hey, man, I like that record, man. Hey, and just kind of went with it. It's the same song. It's just one of them is Queens and one of them is
right. But this is a song that Outkast did after being challenged publicly by the East Coast at the Source Awards.
I 100% agree.
Dude.
So I 100% agree.
It's an homage, just like everything. A lot of stuff that Michael Jackson does is an homage to Bob Fosse, where he got the snake movement, the outfit with the white socks and all of that. But he made it his own thing and told his own story with it.
Yeah.
The third song was them celebrating, finding comfort in being themselves at ATLiens. The fourth song was them describing their environment the way they wanted to, thumbing their nose at the current guard. As I sit in my B-boy stance, in flip-flops and socks, I'm going to enhance your brain, you know what I'm saying, on these wheels of steel. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So that's what I like. It just had so much focus. They understood the assignment, but they did it in such a Southern way. You know how we do shit. We ain't know, you know how it is in the South. We got levels. We not finna just turn all the way up. We don't say stuff like suck my dick to another man. We don't say that.
Right.
Because that's going to a dark place and it's gonna go there quickly. And we know darkness. We know dark. It's against the code down south. No disrespect to whoever do that. We just don't do that.
Yeah, they don't do that.
We don't hardly say fuck you. We just be like, going on with all that. We don't say you about to get your motherfucking ass beat. We be like, all right now.
Keep playing.
Yeah. Find out.
I'm with you.
ATLiens, how did you embody that on an album? Fuck around and find out was an album. This they said it at the Source Awards and then went and did it. And it's so culturally relevant because that's what started off what's still going on today. Aquemini is a part of what's going on today, but it didn't start it off. And for me, I don't see how you could put something that jump something off above something that's participating. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, like this is the thing. Just because it started it doesn't mean that Aquemini is not an improvement. So, I mean, once it becomes an improvement, at the end of the day, I mean, I can look at the Chicago Bulls with 3 championships from You know, the first three. Then I can look at them from 95 to 98. That's the start of it. You know, that's where the dynasty began. You know, Mike left whatever in the middle, but that's where that began. But that doesn't mean that 95 to 98 wasn't better. You know, I mean, I don't care. I mean, like, I care about it being a foundational record. It is that. Like I said, it's stellar. But once they got to Aquemini, it's like, we already proved it. Let me drag my dick across the industry. Because I can do anything that I want and you're going to follow me with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where Aquemini went. Aquemini got to a point of Rosa Parks being like, look, we going to make all y'all niggas sing my song with me. Wow. And they was putting, and the thing is, there was more pill in the ice cream with Aquemini than there was with ATLiens. ATLiens was, like you said, it was a middle finger. There's so many places where you hear the growth in and out. Like, there's not a, like, you look at a record like Aquemini, like, look at them as MCs. Number one, if you go verse for verse outside of a couple, they can't, you know, I mean, like, those are just better rappers. Those are better producers. You know, I'm going to cheat a little bit right here, but if I go listen to Coercion of the Ember and then I go forward and listen to Devil's Violin, I mean, there's no Devil's Violin without Coercion of the Ember, but Devil's Violin is 20 times better than that.
Is it
to reference the speaker? Yes, 100%. I know it better than you do.
Because
I know that
like,
better than you do.
Because I don't know, man. Doing more similes and metaphors, I don't think necessarily makes you a better rapper. To me, rap is about communication. And you know, me, I'm an artist, so I had to learn that the hard way. Communicating a clear point. T.O., what it do? T.O. in the motherfucking house. I'm sure he got something to say, man. You need to hit that link, man. Come on in.
Come on in here.
Matter of fact, hold up. While we talking, this is what I'm about to do at this point in time right now. I'm finna go drop this motherfucking link. And y'all niggas can click it. First of all, I'm gonna put this other link back up for y'all to subscribe, because right now we on my channel because we couldn't get verified quick enough to go live on the other channel.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pin this comment right here. I don't know where my pop out chat keep going. There it is. So y'all hit this link, man. Tap the hell in. If y'all want to call, y'all come in the room. We gonna put you up here on the Summer Jam stage, man. Because you know we ain't the end all be all on this shit. We want to hear from everybody. We want to hear from everybody, man.
All we doing is giving you a glimpse into what happens when we actually catch each other on the phone. This kind of shit is normal.
Oh yeah,
it takes forever.
What the fuck we do. This is just what the fuck we do.
This is what we do. This is 100% what we do.
So yeah. So
my man AJ1. I'm sorry, my man AJ hit it up. But
AJ, what it do? Hold on. Let's read his comment. See what he talking about.
Read it.
ATLiens was, this is my rifle. There are many other rifles, but this one is mine. For sure. I can get with that, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm finna go. So he talking about bars. Hold up. Babylon, they was talking to God, saying how hard it was to keep faith in him. 3000 was talking about not controlling his fate, being born high. And Big Boy was pissed off about his auntie Renee who had died. They was questioning God on the record.
For sure.
Questioning God on the record. Like, hey, I don't give a damn about, you know me. I don't give a damn about lyrical miracles. You come in like this, I came into this world high as a bird from secondhand cocaine powder. I know it sounds absurd. I never tooted, but it's in my veins, while the rest of the country just bunges off bridges with no snapback. And bitches, they say they need that to shake their fannies in these ass clubs. Come on, man. They turn each other out, go the other route, burn each other out, where a bona fide nigga like me can't even get no back rub these days. Ain't that bleak on their part? Let me hold it down, because they shut you down when you speak from your heart. That sound like right now. That's a timeless message. And he just said it to you. Now, it might have been some lyrical miracles and a whole bunch of more references and wordplay and shit like that.
No.
But capturing shit like that to where I could say that now and think about the Me Too movement now and how it's valid, but how it's kind of getting out of hand because of the fringe people who had the loudest voices. You know, I'm thinking about that. We talking about the interaction. And he was like, I don't have no control over my fate. I'm questioning you, God. You told me just come to the world and be who I am. When I was born, I was high. I didn't even get a shot.
Well, how about
To me,
Okay.
that's a powerful ass message, man.
It is. But I mean, but when you go over here and you look at it for something that hits today, synthesizer, microwave me, give me a drug so I can make 7 babies, pump my breasts up. Can you suck the fat up? Take my life for real like ain't no such thing as bad luck. My nose ain't right. Think I need a new one. Just take your pick, a yellow, red, or black, or a blue one. Virtual reality, virtual bullshit. Synthesizer preachers can't reach you up in the pulpit. Who a bitch? Give me my gas so I can smoke this nigga. Tell his mama not to cry because they can clone him quicker than it took his daddy to make him. Niggas biting for back. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, I mean, so that's 2022. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to storytelling too. Like, I don't care how abstract it is, bruh. You got COVID, you got hurricanes and tsunamis and earthquakes, and I mean, like on a level that we haven't. And you got climate change and all this other shit going on. 1998. You know what I'm saying? Baby, can you hear that? Because, baby, I heard it too. Look out the window. Golly, the sky is electric blue. Mama Earth is tossing and come on, man. Raining, catching jackals, the shackle disintegrate the residue. Silly mortals having a clue as to what the fuck is going on. I'm on the telephone caller.
So maybe this where I'm coming with it. Like, maybe for me, I think it's better because that all of that sounds good, but all of that is external. It sounds like and feels like finger pointing. ATLiens is very personal. They was talking about their own lives, their own emotions, their own struggles, their own hardships. I find it easier to relate to people who teach me lessons through just telling me about what they went through. If you just come at me and I don't know your story and you just like, hey, what you doing this for? What you changing your titties for? That's stupid. That's cool. Miss the mark a little bit. Tell me about how you used to didn't like your nose and why you decided against getting it done. That's cool, but for me, just person, that's just, and it's just a preference thing.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
really like personal messages. I like personal messages because I can internalize them because the camera's not on me. The finger's not pointed at me. When the finger pointed at me, I'm automatically in defense mode. And when I'm in defense mode, I'm like, turn this shit off because I don't want to hear no nigga preaching because you sound like you think you perfect. You didn't even preface it with I was this way at one point. I used to be you, little nigga. You didn't even
Wait a
come
second.
in with that.
Everybody's got opinions on the way you're living, but see, they can't fill your shoes. Life is made of half illusion, 40% confusion. Whatever steps I'm using to keep myself from losing. Yeah. And then you get to the last verse. So he talks about it like, look, at the end of the day, you can't. Everybody got an opinion about what the fuck you did. But
Right.
I got my opinion. My opinion's coming at the end, but I understand that I ain't walking your shoes. Marijuana illegal, but cigarettes cool. I might look kind of funny, but I ain't no fool. And then you go to Aquemini. That last verse on Aquemini. You know what I'm saying? I mean, meet the twin, Andre Ben. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Ridge in the skin, many men comprehend. I extend myself. So you go out and take. I mean, like, it wasn't about metaphors and similes and all that. It was, I guess they went from the declaration on ATLiens to let's paint a picture of number one, how we feeling, then how we see it. Because if you listen to Return of the Gangster, he starts off with how everybody's coming at him, if that makes sense. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
Return of the Gangster, thanks up. Them niggas, yeah, I mean, y'all be gospel rapping, but they be steady clapping when you talk about bitches. You know what I mean? Like he did, and that offbeat flow right there, that was one of those things like, hey man, we can do anything you can do. But we're gonna do it and listen to OMP acting an ass on this beat back behind us with all of that, all the sound and distortion. Like I said, I've always thought that it's, and we you and I talked about this when it comes to vocal frequencies and all that kind of stuff. When you have
Yeah.
full beats, I've always thought it's a special talent to be able to make a lush, fully produced song and still make it to where it doesn't overtake the person rhyming on it. You know, whereas I'm not saying it's a knock on ATLiens at all, but where I said they make the beats breathe, if you listen to a lot of those, it's like, hey man, nigga with the drums and the bass line rule that album. Like, there's other stuff in a lot of those, but you listen, even Growing Old, hey man, we got drums and the piano and a couple of dings. Like, it's let it breathe so they can rhyme on it. Aquemini takes all the musicality up 20 notches. Because I mean, we can't just talk about Dre and Big rapping, Dre and Big producing, and OMP producing. If you listen to those, let's take all the words and the hooks and everything off of it and put it up beat for beat. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is an improvement. Like, so you can't, I mean, when I talk about Aquemini being a better album, I think it's where you talk about how it hits you and how it hits you for your preference, which makes sense. It 100% makes sense. When you talk about those things, that all makes sense. But when you talk about Aquemini, I have to take everything into account, which is why I brought up the engineering. I understand they had better techniques, but I don't know what Dre had in 92, but the Chronic in 92 sounds, not, take away the music, but just the sound of it sounds better than the ATLiens in 96. I mean, and they was on the face. They had already gone platinum, so they had a budget. They was everywhere, soundtracks, whatever you can think. They was on New Jersey Drive, all that shit. So I mean, I've heard albums that came out at the same time or before that sound better than that album. This one sounds better than ATLiens. Like, the first thing you think of sonically is better. Then when you get to the actual music and production of it, it's an elevation. I mean, it's like, hey man, I could play the bass. Oh shit. Now I can play the bass. Oh, I can play the drums. Now I can play the drum. You know what I'm saying? It's that leveling up. And then with Dre and Big, they painted pictures in a better way by the time Aquemini came out. Because like I said, that's one thing. If you go into an album with a full-on agenda, and you hear people who have that agenda. If I wanted to use an example, it was written by Nas as an agenda album. You talked about the Source Award. He sat there and watched Biggie win everything that everybody thought he was going to win. And then he makes an album, Chasing Ready to Die, that I think is fantastic. But it's an agenda album, and you can always find the holes in it. You hear me? So when it comes to ATLiens, there's no holes in it. Let's get real. Ain't no holes in it. I'm not even gonna act like there are.
It was a whole. It was a few holes in it. It was a few tracks. It was two tracks I would have left off of ATLiens.
You're gonna make me defend the ATLiens. What holes?
It would have made it a perfect album. Hold on, let me pull up this track list just so I could won't get it wrong.
As long as you don't say Over the Woods, I'm good.
Oh yeah, Over the Woods gotta go.
What?
Over the Woods gotta go. That was absolutely unnecessary. Over the Woods gotta go. Over the Woods.
All right, see.
What's the other one? Is it Decatur Psalms?
No, it can't be Decatur Psalms. That's one with Cool Breeze.
All right.
It's Millennium. It can't be Decatur Psalms.
It was Decatur Psalms. It's absolutely Decatur Psalms.
Everybody in the chat, please tell me what y'all feel about Decatur Psalms and Over the Woods.
Yeah, man.
That's the wrong. If I took it, I would have taken Millennium before I took
Millennium. Stop.
I love it.
Stop.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a record.
Stop.
I don't know the record that you talk. I don't understand.
Hold on. Let me pull up the lyrics for Millennium. So Millennium.
Me and everything around me is unstable like Chernobyl, ready to go at any moment, jumping like a pogo stick.
Life never lived to my expectations.
So I accept the patience.
Everything.
You ain't got to tell me.
I'm just saying that fit on there. The other songs with Cool Breeze. We about to take this thing to new dimensions. They was talking about, it was some weird dope story or something.
Called the crib. They say Breeze. You ain't know. I said what? Big time. Got popped in this Benzo. I said, damn, man. What are you talking about? Nigga.
What the fuck they got to do with the ATLiens? You know what they're
talking about?
That's when you get to go to the studio with Outkast and then they leave to go get something to eat and they leave you with the weed man. And he talking your ear, me and you, we really the same. You know what I'm saying? And then hey, play some of my shit. Play some of my shit. That's that track.
Nigga, the Decatur song is great.
Get off ATLiens, man. No, dude, hold on, because I was waiting on somebody to bring this up. He said, Spody Doty Opalicious, I don't know how to say this shit, is another standout due to the live instrumentation, laid back, legit funk feel, completely unorthodox greatness. Now, that song was awesome. That song was a moment. But for me, I was it seemed like a redundant point at this point. I didn't really the subject matter on that song was it was cool, but to me that song the beat was great, but it wasn't fully realized. To me, the horn line outshined the lyrics. That's what everybody remember. Nobody remember the lyrics. They probably
Well,
remember
who
the
else
damn
want to fuck with
name.
Hollywood Coke? But
But
that's part of the album.
no, that's
At
cool.
the
No,
end of the day, it's part of the album.
I'm just saying though. It's
Yeah.
that's what we talking about songs. We're not talking about instrumentals.
No. But I
That
mean,
could have went without them. That instrumental is just as strong without their lyrics. The instrumental is just as strong without the lyrics, which is cool. But
I
I'm
give
like,
you that.
just a redundant point of them saying how it is outside the clubs and not knowing it'll bring another life into this world. That's cool. I'm just saying, like, it was they was to me they was swinging for the fences, and there was a lot of hits on, not hits like the classical version of hits, but I'm talking about it was a lot of we want to say this and we finna say this. We want to say this, and on there it seemed like even the song with Liberation being so long, it kind of I feel like I'm sitting in on a jam session or something. It doesn't feel like, when I come to Outkast, I come to Outkast for Outkast. It's not a Dave Matthews Band album. Say what the fuck you gotta say. Give me 3.5 and 4 minutes of that shit, and then I'm gonna see you on the next track. Why am I asking you for this? Because that's what you gave me on ATLiens. And then Rosa Parks. Now we at a hootenanny. We all over the world. Which one was from the other? Was Slump from the previous sessions? The other song was from the previous sessions on the
West
Aquemini.
Savannah was previous session.
West Savannah. See,
West Savannah was the Southern.
It was from the Southern playlist. Yeah. Slump. I really like Slump too. I don't even still really know why I like Slump. Yeah, for sure.
Backbone went dumb.
Yeah. That was cool. He said
Like,
the
really,
elevators.
he didn't need nobody else.
The elevators remix wasn't necessary either. That's right, and that's true. But I don't put that on Outkast because the label made them do that. The label is also the reason why you will see Babyface Kenny Edmonds as an executive producer on all the Aquemini tracks. Because after they did what they did on ATLiens, now they're coming to the studio. Like, hey, my guys, what's up? Did you guys get paid? Did you guys get paid? Bring some chicken and wheat in here. Y'all need a hook, Babyface. Oh, you need a hook. I got Eric Clapton on the charts right now. But if I could change the world, man, trust me, you want me in the studio. What the fuck y'all in here doing? Y'all in here doing?
I've always felt like with Aquemini, and this is the thing. It's and I love using you. Feel good to put an album in and not know what to expect. That's right, bitch. Now, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's if they gave you, and especially you and me as well, if they handed you ATLiens and it shook your world like that, they can't hand it to you again. I don't want, not whether it be song length, whether it be whatever it is. Because the thing about it is, while they were stretching out, OMP was stretching out, but they were stretching out as well, as far as musically and knowing all that stuff. So part of the complete album is the music. They actually did put a lot of that forefront because it was like, man, look, we know what the fuck we doing for real now too. And I mean, like I said, the thing is I feel like you see the growth on ATLiens, you 100% see it. But I mean, if I saw the growth, like I want Jordan in 96 over Jordan in 92, personally. You know what I'm saying? Because Jordan in 96 gives me everything. Jordan in 92 gave me a lot of it. And ATLiens gave me a place to go from. Doesn't mean you shove that to the side. What it means is it gave me exactly what I needed. Because one of the things I got from from Aquemini, and when I listened to, and Chunky Fire is the moment they got it, I was like, they were fully realized artists who knew exactly where they were going at that point. So when Chunky Fire goes off, of course, everybody's got Lucy's and soundtrack records and all that kind of stuff. But the first time we heard Outkast making an album, after we heard Chunky Fire, the first thing we heard was B.O.B. And it's a totally different type of song, but it makes all the sense in the world for Outkast to make that record after that. Because This Is Us is fully realized artists. There's going to be some stuff that changes. There's going to be some stuff that goes, but Aquemini is a fully realized artist album to me. ATLiens is, that breakout second year, like, oh man, they were really good as rookies. And then the second year they came through and was like, oh wait, Nobody can guard them. And then when they came in Aquemini, they're a foregone conclusion. Like we know we're getting. Like, I mean, it's different. They added to their bag, but it's,
in my opinion, I like the Spartans. The Aquemini to me is a little bit busy and it's a little bit aimless. It went sort of back to that scatterbrainness that I felt on Southern Playlist Cadillac Funky Music. So we can agree to disagree. But
yeah.
What does Big Rube say on Aquemini?
You talking about on Liberation?
Wherever he is on Aquemini.
It's lies. It's true session. Lies and veins and the brains of my strength. From the horse to maintain.
Whatever the nigga said is not better than what the fuck he said on the 13th floor.
Okay.
So
all right. Libertad. Yeah.
Well, let me refer you back to your points, since you don't know why I'm saying that. You're saying that they was firing on all cylinders, foregone conclusion, top of their game on Aquemini. I just don't see it. And then especially, and then if we talking about they supporting Cass, Big Rube, that poem that he said at the beginning on goddamn 13th floor, nigga. Allow me to bore you guys with some more lyric reading, and then we finna read T.O.'s comment. Control, nigga, and I'm just crazy. I just love timeless things that age well just fascinate me, because the person who was the vessel for that message, you know, that person was tapped in. You got to be tapped in for the universe to let some timeless shit flow through you, and he got it to the studio. Conceive the true deception multiplied a millionfold. Visualize the yin and the yang in a battle so intense. But if I could skip around for you, conceive the true deception multiplied a millionfold. Hold up, let me go down. He said, they teach us that we the product of incest. Invest no level of self into their system of pagonomics. Conceive the true deception multiplied a millionfold. Picture you being the shit, and your whole life the people in charge telling you ain't shit just because they in charge. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the picture that's painted. Tainted as the mind who's blinded to the point where sodomites get all the rights. We fall for fights with fisticuffs. Get pissed enough to miss the bus. It disgusts me to see my folk run up on. I say stand up on the deception of time of all revelations and recognize this mind-numbing reality horror known as mankind. Jesus and his 12 disciples made 13, a righteous number of righteous men. Even Judas the betrayer came true in the end. Nigga. Top of his game? Top of their game?
This is
no.
Yeah, but I mean, but
I mean, all in the studio and people playing banjos, man, on Aquemini, man. Cut
that's
that
not
out.
it. That wasn't that. You know, I mean, let's say Big Rube. All right. So that's a better poem from Big Rube, but that's to act like the poem at the end of Liberation is not up there. The thing about it is that this is a better poem from Big Rube, but as a whole, songs, hooks, singing, harmonies, production, picture painting, all of that stuff.
Songs and hooks. See, I guess, and that's tight. That's what's fun about debating art, because
right, for sure.
What do you qualify as a better hook? What's a good hook? To me, a hook, the definition of a hook, and why they don't call it a chorus, they used to call it a chorus because it's a bunch of people. But a hook is something that hooks the listener.
Even the sun goes down.
Brainworm.
Heroes eventually die. Horoscopes often lie, and sometimes why. Nothing is for show. Nothing is forever. Come on, man.
No. So you telling me that if I bring a 7-year-old in here, they're gonna memorize that before they memorize me and you, your mama and your cousin too, rolling down the strip on Vogue? No. It's a better hook.
But you looking at it in terms like
of what a hook is supposed to be. I mean, we could change the definition of a hook for the sake of argument if you want to, but
no.
If we talk about music, if we talk about hooks and the function of a hook, the beat is the foundation, and it's what gets the people who don't even want to listen. You react in a visceral way. You nod your head when you don't want to be nodding. You tap your head when you tap. That's the vehicle that gets you to the hook. The hook, and especially on songs that singles, they put the hook first.
For sure.
They want it to be an earworm. They want it to get in your head. They want it to sit there, and they want it to stay there.
Right.
And then we get you to the verse. But even on the verse, we got tags on the end of the verses. So now we trying to get you, if you listen that far and if we got you in, we trying to get you to memorize the last words in these verses. And if we want to emphasize that, we want to put drops in here. We'll put some drops in here.
I'm with
and
you.
then, if you listen to our song for longer than 3 or 4 weeks, just maybe, you will hear our message. So the hook has to be powerful. It has to be repetitive. That's why nursery rhymes still the goats and getting passed on, because those are songs, good jingles, good hooks. And I'm just saying, I don't know if those hurt up. We finna get to reading. First of all, we finna talk about what else you drink, because I didn't know you drink different types of beers, nigga.
Yeah. All right. I was keeping it in Atlanta because we talking about ATLiens, but this is actually local. This is local. This is my man Kelvin from Bill Street Brewing. Right in here. This is King's Ransom. It's a peanut butter banana porter. Peanut banana porter.
You got to sell me. That sounds disgusting.
No, man. It's. The thing about it is those two flavors just go together. Now, I'm not gonna eat a peanut butter and banana sandwich, but if I'm cooking something,
nigga, you gonna choke.
That's culturally different than what we fool with over here.
Already.
Oh yeah, and this is black owned. Kelvin is
black owned.
Kelvin is one of my frat brothers. Yoda, any noobs that might be out here.
Okay.
And he, we chop it up a lot, man. And man, I'm gonna check him. I hadn't tasted this one yet. I
was gonna ask you what it tastes like, but I guess that'll be done because it tastes like peanut butter and bananas for sure. Hey, if the shit nasty, don't say it on the stream, man. You got to smile through the pain.
Hey man, let me say something. Especially because that's home team. I definitely ain't gonna do. But the thing is, if I was to sit down and not drink anymore, that's how you know it's nasty.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fake that. But it's.
Did you finish that other beer you had?
Oh, that's the same glass. It's been gone.
Oh man, you're a gangster. You're a gangster. Let's go. Let's address my guy T.O., man. I am critiquing these albums from a producer's perspective, so I get your emphasis on lyrical content, which I do agree should be on the same level or even greater as the track. The song as a whole should be at the highest level to be considered great. Okay, I forgot. We babbled too long, and I don't know what that's in response to, but T.O. usually be on point. Goddamn it.
Well, I mean, when you said me and you, because I was talking about Aquemini, because I'm thinking about, when I said something about Aquemini, I was thinking about you listening to it and me listening to it.
When I brought it me and you said better songs, better hooks, and I was like,
hold up. But you said if you brought a 7-year-old in, which one are they gonna sing first? And I was like, oh well, but I got that hook too, because everybody we knew in the world, hush that fuzz. Everybody moved to the. It was all doing that too, because if we're just talking about a vehicle to move it, that did the job too. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is one of the things that makes Aquemini be better, or it elevates it, is the fact that you needed elevators more than you needed it. Now, I'm not saying they did it in Rosa Parks, but I'm saying like they were already there at that point. They went from platinum to double platinum. Now let's go ahead and Outkast, they was looking for it. When Rosa Parks came out, that was one of the ones that got the world premiere on MTV. You know what I'm saying? When they used to tell you, hey man, at 9:00, this video is going. Man, I hate it for the youngins because they don't get good shit like that.
Oh, they don't get good shit like that. For us to bird walk a little bit, let me talk about something that me and Melissa talked about the other goddamn day.
Go ahead.
Nigga, do you remember when Michael Jackson, Black or White, and MC Hammer, Too Legit to Quit came out?
Yep.
It was 2 networks. I think it was CBS and NBC. They said we gonna premiere the videos on 2 different stations. I think it was 7 p.m. and we gonna see who get the most viewers. Nigga, that shit was epic, nigga. Of course, Michael Jackson won, but Hammer put up a fight. It was an awesome cultural moment. I love rock music. I love all types of music, but I don't remember moments like that happening in other people's genres of music, and that was tight. And even for Michael Jackson, he could have been like, that's what I don't really like about the stars today. We talking about Michael goddamn Jackson.
Right.
He could have been like, Hammer, just stop it. I've been doing this shit since the 70s. You just got here. Relax. He was like, all right, nigga. Bet. He was like, nigga, we gonna do this shit there, nigga. Get your network. I'm gonna get my network.
Come on, man.
Holler at Nielsen and see what the fuck this shit do.
Come on, man.
That shit was cold. Then Michael Jackson confused the fuck out of everybody by doing some type of acapella dance montage at the end. He stomped on top of a car and broke the windows, turned into a panther, and scurried off. I don't know what that means, but it was cold.
It was great.
So yeah, I feel sad for the youngins too, because and nobody died at the end. You know, yeah, kids don't get premieres on network TV. Rummathy, what it do? Hey, Rick said, "Drink it or sink it." That's the test. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm
I
saying?
mean, we drinking it. We ain't sinking it, baby.
We
We
drinking.
ain't
We ain't
sinking it.
sinking
We
it. Yeah,
drinking
we got to finish
it.
the
We drinking
pod. We gonna finish in a minute too. We ain't gonna hold y'all too
it.
much
Oh yeah,
longer.
yeah.
We love y'all, man. Listen, appreciate y'all for tuning in to this shit,
Yeah.
man. But I don't know, man. I don't know that ATLiens. It just hit me different, and you know me. I try not to be that person who just whatever hit me first hit me
Right.
the best.
Right.
I just be jamming them. I remember I didn't have no wince moments on and even going back, I didn't have no wince moments on I shook my head a little bit because I was confused on the Decatur Psalm, but I didn't have no wince moments on ATLiens. But I winced at Rosa Parks. You know, I'll be, you know, me personally, that's just a preference thing. So I ain't going to put that on nobody else. But
Right.
that motherfucking that hoot nanny vibe, that slay. I was like, it's too soon. It's too soon. It's too soon. I really didn't dig it. You know what I'm saying? And then and the other one we was talking about Mamacita, I was like, man, we could have really, really went without this, you know, but
Yeah. Yeah. And you could have. You know, I guess the thing that I like about that never bothered me about Rosa Parks, because the first reaction is the same. You know what I'm saying? The first reaction is the same. It's I mean it's you know, but then when you think about it, there was a chick when the Mike Brown shit was going on. Her name is Netta. She be on Twitter, and somebody said, "Y'all out here arguing in front of these white people." And she said, "I wish I gave a fuck about the white gays." Rosa Parks to me, like Gaze. You know, yeah, I wish.
okay.
Yeah,
I was
Gaze.
like,
I wish
damn,
she gave a fuck
she
about them.
said she went all
No,
she hit a
no,
bone on my
she was
motherfucking
basically.
ass.
But there, it was her and it was her and somebody else who were activists, and they were having a disagreement, and they were like, "Y'all doing this in front of white people?" She said, "I wish I gave a fuck about the white gays." You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like Rosa Parks is like, "This is what the fuck we do. I don't give a fuck what a New York nigga, a New Jersey nigga, or a Cali nigga, or these white people think. This is what the fuck we do, nigga. They was braiding messages into people's hair. They were making gospel songs about getting away. You know what I'm saying? Like, so man, fuck y'all. This is history. This
Yeah,
is who we
yeah,
are. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You can't take that from us. It If you hear it in the moment and that's not the first thought to come to you, I get where you was coming from. Like, hey man, goddamn.
I was
But
like,
for
bro,
me,
I was like, bro. And then too, we wasn't finished making our stand as the South. And I'm like, bro, this is what they expected us to do. And this is the type, and I don't even listen to that type of music. Like you remember, I'd be like, I go to goddamn Spain. I'm like, so I'm from Little Rock. They're like, do Little Rock have sidewalks? Like, come on, fam. Come on, man.
nigga, dude, Little Rock is banging. That
Come
was
on,
it. The
bro.
South up on that map was like, Little Rock to
30,
banging.
30 years later, they still asking. Even the whole world banging. It's Crips in Russia. And you still asking about the Little Rock banging.
The niggas in banging in Little Rock, a lot of them are 60 something at this point. You know what I'm saying? They're
They
50,
got
60
to be.
years old.
They got to be. Because I was 13,
Nigga, I was
14.
92.
Yeah.
You're 92. These niggas is 50, 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you still asking me about this?
So check this
You know
out. Dude said, you
Right.
convinced me the ATLiens album is just more playable. And that's my last and final point before we get up out of here, man. You know, me and
Hey,
you always talk about the barbecue test. You
okay.
could put this album on at a barbecue and nobody will bat an eye. Because I think what's tight to me and what makes good songs is if you have songs where you can listen to it and get the message. But if you don't want to hear all that shit right now, you can still just nod to the beat, chop it up. It's not really competing for your attention. If it do ask to be turned up, it just has to be turned up because it's a little turn up, but it's not like if we put both of these down and put them on, we got 0 to 10 on the decibel thing on the stereo, put it on 4 at the barbecue. I can't see them really. They might have turned Decatur Psalms. They might skip past that one, but
That was the one they keep.
absolutely not. But at least they would keep that in the weed smoking pavilion that you reserved beside the real pavilion for your partners. But
Right.
you can play this around old people. You know, old people was dancing to them bass lines, and the
Yeah.
youngsters was nodding off the 808s. So I just say that it's even a better barbecue album, which is a good test because you know it's more than just the car test. When you go deep, you got a lot of tests. You got the kid test, the car test, the barbecue test, etc.
All right. So I give you one. The old person that I would use, God bless the dead, my father. My dad had a club for 18 years. Right? Went Arkansas. Too Short is his all-time favorite artist because he could throw Too Short records on and niggas lost their mind.
Yeah.
This is why I say at least niggas could dance then versus what they do. We was dancing. We heard a bass line, some drums, we was in it. Rosa Parks did it for him. What was it? He liked Spodio Dopalicious. He was also into Chunkyfied did it for him because he listened, because he DJ'd. So basically the records that caught him, he was looking for the drops and for all that kind of stuff. So West Savannah was another one that dad used to be like, hey man, that's that right there. You know what I'm saying? When it came to ATLiens, he had elevators, but he had to play the remix. Nobody likes a remix. But you know what I'm saying? That was the one he had to play because it had the drums to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you could switch and you got to put it in context of the 90s, the club test, because you got your car test, Aquemini wins, let's just say for technology's sake. You know what I'm saying? The club test, I say that about tit for tat because he did say that, what was the joint he dug? It was
What up, Des? What's going on with you? I'm listening.
Was that Death?
Yeah, that's Death.
Shit. Damn.
Big dog pulled up. Big dog pulled up. Keep going though. Don't lose your thought because I be losing my goddamn.
No. But the other record that used to get him, he used to have to play the Jazzy Bell remix. Now that's one of the ones, those drums got me, period. But he used to have to play the remix. So I guess like Rosa Parks, he could just throw on, depending on the night, he could throw on Spotty, because he used to still talk about what he would play at Hollywood if he still had it. Because he sold it in 95. But he never lost the feel of that. Like if it was something that would move your feet, that was where he was
like,
at. And
it's gonna go. Yeah.
This will work. So and Jamie, the fine print, Jamie said, he was like, that's what he was asking me on IG, is it artistic or playability aspect? And I was like, I guess it depends on, and if you're at a barbecue, ATLiens would probably work better. If I'm in the car, I feel like Aquemini wins. You know what I'm saying? For me, like, and this is running them back to back. And I was like, the thing about it is when ATLiens is on, I'm knocking my head and rapping along all the lyrics and the hooks and everything. And then when I got to Aquemini, the way you say ATLiens hit you, Aquemini hit me that way. Now, when Aquemini came out, I was a freshman on campus with the backpack, and I was into, you know what I'm saying? Like I was heavy reading and all that kind of stuff. So, and maybe it just spoke to me more the way the ATLiens hit you. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, because for me, ATLiens was an album that I played all the time mowing the lawn. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my lawnmower record. You know what I'm saying? That was one of them. I got a crew. Had me searching keyboards and drum machines, snares I never see. Now I wonder if Ferocious was more fully formed producer by the time he got to Aquemini. Like the searching is not as hard once you get it. I always wonder if people are talking once they get to a point where they got it and they know where to look versus when I'm learning it and got to find it. So where does nostalgia play versus, you know what I'm saying, between ATLiens and Aquemini, where were you sitting when it came out? And how does it play for you? So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because nostalgia's a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like
it is, and I try to
take it out.
I try to ignore it because it's not really important. Nostalgia to me is ego-based emotion, and it's cool and it's fun. But our memories, we think they awesome just because they ours and for no other reason. That's why some of us even like bad memories. You know, we smell smells that remind us of messed up things.
You remember that fucked up shit?
And yeah. So it's like, so see, I try to take the nostalgia out of it. It so I shouldn't have brought up the way it hit me, although that was important to me initially. But it just stands the test of time. And on Aquemini, I didn't really see where they was going. And now, Des, we're not talking about Stank On Air. We're not talking about none of the other albums. I saw one of my other brothers up here, Slim Boozer, asked about Bombs Over Baghdad. We're gonna say that for another one because that's a whole another rabbit hole.
I think that's because I referenced it.
Huh?
I think when I referenced B.O.B. talking about if you just had to play a song after Chunky Fire and somebody push play on B.O.B., it wouldn't sound like it didn't make sense. It would sound like this is who these niggas are. And I guess, like I said, for me, I heard them as fully realized artists. This was one of the best examples of art and commerce doing this. Aquemini. Art and Commerce hit, like, they hit those cues in so many. Now, ATLiens set it up, but they hit those cues with Rosa Parks and you know, and the places they went on that record. They hit the Art and Commerce so well that, you know, and like I said, Synthesizer is probably the reason why I was like, bro, I'm sorry, you know, there are people who say that they don't fool with Synthesizer, and I don't understand, because I'm
You
like,
don't
bro,
understand? I really like Synthesizer, but I'm a music head. They don't mess with it because Dre learned. He made us pay to hear him learn how to sing. You know. And I was like, bro, you got to practice more. You know, it's been a while since you dropped the album.
That's where he put the effect on it.
Surely, oh man, the effect, you know, frequencies are math. You know, you can't fool math. It wasn't auto tune, so it didn't do the pitch correction to get it to the proper frequencies. He was in that bitch out of key and out of tune. And to some people, it's just dissonant. It's so dissonant that they like, I'm gonna pass on this one. But me personally, though, I love Synthesizer.
Yeah. No, I mean, so, you know, like, since
But,
we've gotten
to your credit too,
go ahead.
Synthesizer is another busy one. That song is busy as hell. Like I can't. That's one of them songs. It's like porn. You can't never turn it down too low. If you need to turn it down a little bit, even if you got it on 1, it's just gonna be like, it's gonna be begging for your attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's, to me, songs like that, I can't put them on because they make me nervous. I don't like songs with a whole bunch of high frequency content. It make me nervous. And then if I do have on the cans, George Clinton over here, you know, you got Andre singing out of key in this other ear. I'm personally stressed out, you know what I'm saying? But I love the song and the message as an artist. I love the song. You know, that's one. So that's, you can't make Aquemini without that. It's not like Mamacita, but personally, it don't get a lot of run back for me because it's like, okay, I got it.
So I mean, the storytelling too, does that throw you off like that with the distortion?
No, not at all. I love storytelling. That's one of my favorite tracks on the album. You know, and the fact that he even broke the fourth wall and referenced the distortion was super duper cool to me. You know, and how they slipped in a little piece of culture because, you know, I think the Atari used to mess up the cathode ray TVs, so they never let you. You couldn't play video games on the TV, the good TV in the house, and you couldn't talk on the phone during, because somehow old people thought that you was gonna get electrocuted talking on the phone while it was raining outside. I love that they captured that foolishness.
Yeah, man.
Because that was a real thing.
And that was the other point to close for me for Aquemini, is that they broke each piece of what was supposed to be done with the album. Like I said, this is the artsy shit right here. They broke each piece up almost perfectly. The only misstep they made in how they broke it up was the Hennessy conversation between Raekwon and Big.
Yeah.
If you take that out, so when Rosa Parks ends, it just goes, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, they broke it up because you had Hold On and Return, and then after that, boom, 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 the Backbone record comes on. And they at the record store because they just set up I Am Who I Am, and look, I don't fool with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then Rosa Parks comes on, and they start telling, like, you know, I thought it would be jamming, but examine all the wafty, scoffed sad that it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was talking about, man, I went out and bought it because I thought it would be jamming. You know what I'm saying? And
Big D, what it do? Go ahead.
Yeah. I was trying to see who it was. But they, you know what I'm saying? They did that. So they go through all that. When they get to Synthesizer, the little Frankenstein joint, it could have been wrong, but it was super duper short, and it kind of sets up like, look, this is what's about to happen. But they broke it up with all of the things in it, like with the little intro. Keisha, come on in this house. Get off that telephone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What? You know what I'm saying? Like the way they broke it up, because it looks like it's broken up in the sections. That's why, because when I was listening to it, I was like, oh man, they have a prologue, because Return of the Gangster and Hold On, that intro sounds like it should come before a song. You know, what a record is like, oh, this is how the album starts. But instead, they did Hold On, then they did Return of the Gangster, and then they put that in there because the prologue happened. Then the introduction and the thesis statement is Aquemini. And then you get the action that starts to go this way as far as everything that's going on. And then it climaxes in storytelling too, because it's like, hey man, the world is fucked. And it's whatever. And then when it starts coming down, you know, even the subject matter, love or hate Mamacita, let's say, you know, you it's there, so it's there. So the subject matter there, and then you keep going when you go down from those records into Spodioni and the Y'all Scared, and then Liberation is like the resolution of like, man, we gonna get away. And then Chunky
Liberation
Fire.
was the car chase scene in Matrix 2 was too long, and you just take it out. Just take it out. You know, give me some B-sides. Put it on a deluxe version. Jesus Christ, that song long,
And they
like
was talking that shit on that song,
that
man.
song long. They was, but break it up. Jesus Christ, do a part 1 and part 2. You know how long I had to wait to get to Erykah Badu? That's who I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for.
You wait to hear Erykah.
Why would it make me wait so long?
Hey man, you fucked me up because we all right, we're not done. We're gonna finish this discussion, but I do have to reference something we talked about in the text messages that has nothing to do with Outkast.
That's
I do,
so tight.
because we're sitting here. Because we're sitting here. I gotta do it. I got to because I'm thinking about it. Did you go back and listen to In the Closet by Mike? I just gotta ask real quick.
Yes.
After I said that,
yes.
Did you hear what I was talking about? Like it was like Janet. Then the bridge comes in, it's Mike. And then it goes back, Janet.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's hard. I meant to. She got some documentary just dropped too. I think I need to watch.
I gotta watch it. Yeah, I was busy.
I gotta watch anything Janet, but she all the headlines been about how Mike was fat shaming her and she wasn't feeling it and how it changed her perception of herself, and it's just like, oh man, that's unfortunate. It's so much stuff that I did as a kid that I didn't know that I was doing. I don't know how old he was when that was going on, but it's just like, I wonder how many people I affected in a negative way, in a profound way that I don't know about, just from being a ridiculous little kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, when you think about it, Mike, because I haven't watched it, and if the fat shaming was going on, and if it was any time later, the thing that you gotta look into is something that Fonte said, and they were talking about. He was like, famous like jail. Whatever age you are when you go in, that's pretty much who you gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because what is it? It's like you're being in jail. No one's catering to you, but they're telling you. In celebrity, it's like, yeah, you got this schedule, but it's people wiping your ass for you. You know what I'm saying? If you really a celebrity, because you can't go outside. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, you kind of infantilized at that point. So fat shaming her, thinking about industry. This is a guess. Thinking about industry standards and how things are supposed to be and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Janet, you might need to lose some. Because Diana doesn't look like that.
He said,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, nigga, he said Sal. Like he was using words. He was using words, nigga. He was coming with the heat. He looked like he would have killed on the playground with that shit. It was too much. It was too much.
What they always said. That's what they said about dude though. They did say nigga was funny. They were like, if you know Mike is a funny nigga. Like that clip.
Mike used to get drove about his nose.
Oh, for sure.
That's, I think he had the biggest nose in the family. They used to just call him Nose.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Quincy Jones used to call him Smelly. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if that was a nose reference. Because Quincy tried to play it off in some interview, act like it was something else, because he used to use different words instead of curse words. But I don't know. That's a little too close to the nose thing. Yeah, I think Q might have been being slick.
Oh man, you gotta be careful which part of what Q says you still believe, because it might change from week to week. So,
yeah. Because I remember when he went rogue in that interview. We ain't gonna talk about over here, but man,
yeah, he's like,
help me, Jesus Christ.
But no,
go on and close it and wrap it up, man. Because this is awesome. I don't want to long stroke these folks and do them like church. It is Sunday.
This is what I'll say about ATLiens versus Aquemini. It's like I don't feel necessarily swayed, like it's something I didn't understand, because ATLiens is an album that, shit, like you said, your top 50 or your top whatever, bro. These two albums are sitting there anyway.
Yeah, they in there.
But it's like it's. I think it's when like I said, it's how I hear it and what I think of. I was like, so where I find like this is the one time where the abstract painting is more probably my lane than it is for you. Because in so many ways, if you think about movies you watch, shows you watch, and records that you listen to, especially outside of hip hop, and let's be real, the stuff you've made, so much of the abstract painting has been your thing. But
Yeah.
then with this album, this is an album they were like, here, you ain't got to figure nothing out. ATLiens is like, here, it's right here. Everything you need to see is right here on the page. But Aquemini, they was like, they were starting to code it a little more, and they were starting to, they were starting to put it in those ways. It was like the people who know will understand. And some people would say like, yeah, but you shouldn't preach to the choir. But they may be looking at it like, you can't save the choir. You just got to make sure the people who will listen can walk in the right direction. So I mean, for me, Aquemini does it for me that way. I do think I think if somebody's sitting them up and clinically listening and being like the art of it, Aquemini is going to sit there before. I do know that with the length of the songs and all those things, ATLiens is going to hit for so many people so much easier. It's way easier to digest. I'm not going to lie and say it's not that. So what I'm saying? I guess it depends on what lens you're putting it in, which one that you're going to feel. But this is like arguing, man, which do I like? If I like dark meat, it's like, do I like a big thigh or medium sized thigh? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's
Eyes,
one of
nigga.
those like, but I mean, I will still roll with thinking that their best work, we're going to sit down and we're going to make an album. I still believe it's Aquemini, but, for those who would say ATLiens, I mean,
So,
I mean, I'm not going to
Will,
argue
so
with
we end it like this. What's your favorite moment on ATLiens?
Oh shit. It's gonna sound. You mean like moment or song? Because
We'll do either one. Whatever hit you
I'll do
first.
both. I'll do both. My favorite song on ATLiens is "Wheels of Steel."
Mm.
My favorite moment where I'm starting to develop an opinion that Big is the best verse ender. Project from Mobb Deep is the best verse opener, and we can go like, you know what I'm saying? I break bread, ribs.
There will be no video about that because I totally agree with you.
Okay.
There'll be no video about that.
But I'm starting to believe that Big is the best verse ender.
Okay.
Back in the days when I was broke, I'd snatch your fucking neck, Joe pussy ass nigga. That's my favorite part of the whole album.
For sure. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Just
For
like,
reasons, for reasons that I'm sure we'll be interested to hear later on. But
well,
I think my favorite moment got to be the art storytelling too, because it was just
okay. Oh,
I think that moment, that song is just, if you think about their whole career, if you think about my whole existence, our whole existence on this earth, from us being born and our parents being in the church and saying we living in the last days, it's going down, and us thinking about death. Christians think about death more than anybody. We always prepping. We ain't got no insurance, but we always preparing for death. Gonna call my name when I'm in that number. So them doing all of that, and them kind of personifying a comical way of how it may be. The sky's electric blue and all of this, and even rapping over the last beat you're gonna rap over. To me, that was a pretty it was one of those super sobering moments where that was another one that I ran back to, especially the guitar. I didn't notice that the guitar was through the whole song until I heard the solo at the end. And because I like those big ass Gregorian chant type voices at the end. Who said good folk are not supposed to die?
Right.
Who said
and they
good
had the
folk are not
cuts in
supposed
it,
to die?
like,
Yeah, bro, that's hip hop right there. Hold up, nigga, that ain't hip hop. You find that shit there in the gift shop. Come on, man. that nigga was tearing their ass up. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Yeah. Oh, he said, pay your fucking beeper bill, bitch.
See, that's the other lyric that made me think. Instead of going to overkill, to pay your fucking beeper bill, bitch. I was like,
it was only $8.95. The beeper bill was only $9. Pay your beeper bill.
Man, I had a beeper till 99. 99 when I got my first cell phone. I was pager from 13 up.
I would say that's disgusting, but I had a pager around that time too. I never could afford a pager. Somehow they sent me a pager in the mail, like for free. What? And it never got turned off. To this day, I don't know how it was. I was so excited. They sent it to my grandma's house because I can't live with my grandma for 2 years.
Right.
My folks in Memphis. Nigga. Oh man, I thought I was the shit. You hear me? But anyway.
my parents got me my pager.
And
they got it on some. Yeah, well, my dad had the club and everything. That's in another city. So he was he was there, and then he would come home and stay, and then he would go. And then mom worked. She would work 3:30 to 11, or whatever for Southwestern Bell. So to make sure they could keep up, just in case, because I play sports and I'm a latchkey kid, they hit the pager. You know what I'm saying? Now,
yeah.
I was hoping somebody else would page me, but it didn't happen that often.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
We had no hoes. We had no hoes. We had no hoes.
100%. Nigga,
I
was
have no legs. Anyway, from late bloomer to hating ass boomer. Thank Lee J for coming on.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Me too, goddamn it. I'm old as fuck too, man. Hey, appreciate y'all for goddamn tuning in, man. Go and subscribe to Deep Dive Homies, man. We all our friends in here, man. We'll send y'all links to the subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Every now and then we're gonna do these deep dives. We ain't gonna hammer y'all with content too much, just when it's time to chop that shit up, man. Appreciate y'all running in the motherfucking building once again, man. And we out of here. Peace.
Peace.
The outro is hella long.
Hey,
cool.
Is it playing? Is the outro playing?
Yeah, the outro was playing when I was quiet. Yeah.
Okay.